The Newsday continues here in One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. Here are the top stories of the hour. The National Historical Commission of the Philippines admits that a large amount of money is needed to rehabilitate the Manila Central Post Office that has been gutted by fire. NHCP Historical Preservation Chief Reynaldo Lita said the move could require research efforts on materials. Meanwhile, the Government Service Insurance System said the Manila Central Post Office is insured for around 604 million pesos. But the agency said it is also willing to extend the loan for the reconstruction of the building.
Kailangan yun yung design material or design properties para mapanumbalik natin yung anyo at itsura ng gusali. Usually, medyo pareho lang siya sa cost ng bagong gusali pero minsan nagiging mahal dahil nga nagkakaroon tayo ng research pa dun sa mga lumang materyales and kailangan natin maghanap pa ng mga bagay na yon.
According to the Bureau of Fire Protection, the fire that tore through the building incurred a damage worth an initial estimate of 300 million pesos. Postmaster General Luis Carlos said they will tap a structural engineer to further look into it. Meanwhile, offices of the Internal Audit Services and post-stage payment delivery at the building were not damaged by the fire.
A structural engineer is needed to do that. And then from there, kung ano po yung itsura ng building na yan, how it is, we will come up with that.
President Bongbong Marcos orders the Department of Information and Communications Technology to help LGUs adapt to the eGov system. Marcos Jr. issued the directive during a sectoral meeting in Malacanang on Tuesday. He also directed the DICT to conduct regular upgrades on the system. The eGov system includes a super app, which is a platform aimed to ensure that digitalization of government systems. The eGov super app will be launched early next month. The ICT Secretary Ivan Uy said this will help local governments save a lot of money and boost income generation. A senator believes it's high time to legalize motorcycle taxis in the Philippines. Senator Grace Poe tells the Senate Committee on Public Services, which she chairs, that motorcycle taxis should be recognized by law as a safe and convenient mode of public transportation in the country. Poe cited the results of a pilot study on the viability of motorcycle taxis, which she notes can be used as basis for legislation. Under the survey conducted by the Technical Working Group, 96% of motorcycle taxi passengers believe that the government should legalize motorcycle taxis. The study also showed that commuters favor the affordability and quick travel time provided by motorcycle taxis amid the heavy traffic in the metro. With the rising demand for this mode of transportation, the Senate is also looking at increasing the number of motorcycles for hire that are allowed to operate. Currently, around 45,000 motorcycle taxis are allowed to operate under various TNVS via provisional authority. The Philippine Competition Commission says it is in favor of this proposal. They note that passengers will benefit more if there are no limits to the number of motorcycle taxis or even TNVS that will be allowed to enter the public transport industry.
In terms of market situation, more players would be better for the consumers. Let the market dictates on the extent of the number of vehicles, motorcycle units.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. The Association of Child Caring Agencies of the Philippines, or ACAP, raises concerns about the Social Welfare Department's move to, quote, uproot children from Gentle Hands Orphanage. ACAP says it is gravely concerned about the children's situation and safety. This, as ACAP says, the DSWD gave no information as to where exactly the children will be transferred and how they will be cared for. ACAP also says the, quote, surreptitious uprooting of the children from what they considered home for many years would be detrimental to their mental and physical health. For this reason, the group now calls for a dialogue with DSWD to discuss how to best handle the case. The DSWD earlier ordered a cease and desist order against the orphanage over a series of supposed violations. Among lapses reported by Social Welfare Chief Rex Gatchalian were lack of social workers, overpopulation, improper hygiene, and not enough fire exits. The agency says the kids will be brought to DSWD facilities for the meantime.
If I'm not mistaken, kaya ayaw ko papasukin, they only had 5 kasambahays who could barely answer. But you were running 149. So, it's a recipe for disaster.
To talk more about this, we have on the show Gwen Pimentel Gana, President of the Association of Child Caring Agencies of the Philippines, or ACAP. Good morning, ma'am, and thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Good morning, Diego, and to all listeners, good morning. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Let's start off now. Has your organization been aware of the supposed violations of Gentle Hands Orphanage that have been flagged by the DSWD recently?
Well, actually, we know that the GHI is already licensed, is undergoing accreditation.
Okay.
Therefore, communication as to what needs to be done in terms of complying with all the requirements are actually given to GHI. So they are now in the process of completing or maybe meeting the requirements that need to be done.
Then if you say, ma'am, that they were in the process of the accreditation, how exactly then should have the DSWD approach this situation and handle it?
Well, for one, what really raised our alarm is the fact that at 7 p.m. I believe, was it Monday, when 2 buses were sent to GHI with the intent of bringing out the children at that particular moment. And, you have to think of what the effect on the children would be with that such action DSWD. Now, if they have, of course, complaints and things to be ironed out with GHI, I think the best thing would have been for them to conduct a maybe dialogue with GHI. And then not make the children actually suffer the consequences of the lack of such dialogue. Because I'm sure that if they were taken out at that particular time at night, it would have caused trauma to these children, both physical and mental. And of course, we are here always for the well-being and protection of the children.
Okay, I would like to clarify. You said most likely there was no prior dialogue before they went to Gentle Hands, or was there some sort of communication before that?
Well, of course, Gentle Hands will be able to explain how the communication was actually done with them. But I know for a fact that there was a supposed to be visit of the secretary. I think it was on a Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, there are allegations from both sides, as to what are the lack or what things need to be done. But of course, or us in ACAP, what we are concerned actually is the case of the children.
Correct.
What the procedures, the measures being followed. Okay, fine. You have policies, you have protocols to be followed, but are these for the best interest of the children? So that is what we want to focus on. And if things need to be done in order to change these policies, then I think we should start the discussion on this.
Correct.
Because I think what was done at that particular moment in trying to uproot these children was, to me, really very questionable.
Is there, ma'am, an existing protocol, or should there be a protocol in place before children cared for in homes like for example, Gentle Hands are transferred to other facilities, and given the way they were transferred supposedly at the middle of the night?
of course, if there is abuse, if there is really an allegation of abuse and there is a finding of abuse, it is justified that you go in and pull out the child or whoever is being abused. But the point is that at that particular moment, you don't do it without any concrete complaint or action, or what are the allegations, or what are the abuse that you're trying to prevent at the particular time. And is that the best possible measure that you are supposed to address the abuse that allegedly is being happening?
And ma'am, for the benefit of our viewers in general, saan po ba ang nagmumula ang funding sa private-run orphanages? Should the government extend more support or financial aid to these private orphanages?
Nako, yan ang ating advocacy talaga, for government to support this child caring agency. Sa totoo lang ngayon, kanya-kanyang sikap yan. Talagang from private fundings at talagang humihingi tayo ng tulong sa mga individual or mga yung mga benevolent donors, pero wala talagang yung parang regular funding ang gobyerno. Kaya talagang humihingi kami na sana mabigyan ito ng pansin. Kasi naman, tinutulungan natin ang gobyerno para alagaan itong mga abandoned, neglected children. Hindi kaya ng RSCC mismo, ng gobyerno, na gawin ito. So kaya may mga child caring agencies. Kaya nga, talagang dapat tulungan ito Talagang dapat bigyan ng pansin. Kasi katulad sa amin sa AKAP, ang aming primary goal is that every child should belong to a family. So adoption, foster care, ang talagang tinutukoy natin dito. Sana naman na, ma-recognize ng gobyerno na maganda ang kontribusyon ng child caring agencies. Kasi sa totoo lang, we have standards that we're following in terms of care, no? So talagang dapat, as you said, sana naman ma-fundingan din.
Let's take a step back po a little, ma'am. You said with lack of funding, what is the overall situation of the orphanages in our country? And what is most needed sa mga bahay ampunan po natin?
Well, I can only speak, of course, sa members namin ng AKAP, Association of Child Caring Agencies. And I can proudly say na we are doing our best at tingin ko rene-recognize naman ito ng DSWD na at par sa standards nila or sometimes beyond even their standards yung mga care na binibigay ng AKAP members. And I should say that we should look at holistic ang pagtingin natin kasi ang child care naman, it involves of course yung physical health, mental, emotional, psychological, mga ganyan, So kailangan natin na tignan kung kung sapat na ba itong ginagawa natin na pag-aalaga sa mga batang ito. Because itong mga batang ito, wala silang voice. Kasi talagang wala silang magulang na mag-aalaga sa kanila. They are abandoned. They are parang kung tutuusin ang mga child caring agencies, sila na ang magulang. 'Di ba? Ang state kasi ang merong kanilang what you call it, merong authority over them.
That's right.
Pero because license ang mga CCAs, binibigyan sila ng authority ng state to exercise this parental control over these children, supervision, kanya.
Well, thank you very much, ma'am, for joining us and your insights. Ma'am Gwen Pimentel Gana, President of the Association of Child Caring Agencies of the Philippines. And that's it for this hour. I'm Diego Castro. Join us again at 11:15 a.m. We are One News, all sides, all the time.